What's good, my people? It's your boy Picasso here. Finally about to do a tutorial. I've been meaning to do this for the longest, but I just never had the time to, man. I just work so much, you know. But today I got time. I had time. Hopefully, I plan to, I am going to put out more content, more haircuts, more tips on how to fade. You know, how I fade, how to get that line, how to get a real sharp line. Yeah, man, it's just how I do it, and then once you learn, you put your own twist, you put your own technique to it. But you know, it don't hurt to learn from different people, like I learned on this platform here, YouTube University. Excuse me, drop my phone. All right, I'm back. Yeah, man. So I'm not gonna talk too much. Let's get right into it. Hey, what's up, my people? It's your boy Picasso here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. But basically, what I'm going to be doing for you guys today, I'm going to give you guys a tutorial step by step on how to do a high fade with the wave cut on top. I'm also going to be shaping up the beard as well. Now, like I stated before, this is one way you can fade. There's plenty of different other ways that you can do. Once you get your own niche and find out how do you like to fade, you can switch it up. But this is just, my way of fading. I do fade different types of ways, but for the sake of this video, I just kept it very simple, and I did it just step by step. So let's get it. All right, with my number 2 guard, I'm just evening the hair all the way around, following the wave pattern. Pretty simple, pretty easy. All right, we're going to begin with a bald guideline. This is when you use a trimmer and you create the initial guideline of your fade. So this is the beginning of your fade. Me personally, I always like bald fades because it looks the best from a light transition to a dark transition. So this is top tier for me. So right now I'm just going to clear everything up, get the rest of the hair that's underneath. All right, we're gonna move on to the next step. We still didn't put a guard on yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open the lever. So you're gonna push the lever on the side of the clipper all the way down and create a second guideline about a 1/2 inch above the first guideline. So when you're fading, just remember to create and erase, create and erase. And before you know it, you'll have a perfectly blended fade. And remember, whenever you're erasing that guideline, never go past the guideline that you created. All right, so now we're going to erase the initial guideline by closing the lever on the clipper. When I say close, I mean push the lever up so that you have now a 0. So you're going to erase the initial guideline that you created to complete the blend. And as you can see, the initial guideline that we created with the trimmer is no longer there. All right, next step, I'm going to create again. Create another guideline with the number 2 guard, about a 1/2 inch. So right now I'm just going to make sure everything is straight across, everything is even, creating that guideline. All right, so I'm gonna grab my 1/16 and I'm gonna create the previous guideline with this guard here. As you can see, it's disappearing like magic. Shit, I should change my name to Houdini instead of Picasso. Let's get it. All right, y'all, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. All right, we're gonna get the 3/8 guard. Gonna create another guideline to complete the fade. All right. By now, you guys, should have, got the point by now. We're just gonna keep creating and erasing, until we get that final look that we want. So we're just gonna take the bulk out up another 1/2 inch. Same thing, everything is pretty repetitive, but it looks so good when you're done, man. I'm telling you. All right, so to erase that guideline that we just created with the 3/8 guard, we're gonna go back to our number 2 guard, which is the 1/8. This time we're gonna open up the lever. We're gonna open up the lever and take out that guideline that we just created with the 3/8 guard. You see the blend, you see the blend, you see the blend. It's coming together, y'all, it's coming together. It's a process without a doubt, but if you stick to it and follow these steps, you'll have a well blended fade without a doubt. All right, on to the next. I'm gonna use our 1/4 guard and once again create another guideline. Get the bulk out so you can see the rest of that blend. It's coming together, don't worry. Just hanging it with me, y'all. All right, we're gonna go on to the last step. We're gonna grab our 3/8 guard. We're gonna open the lever, and take out that last guideline that you see there. You know, just keep knocking away at it, knocking away until you see that perfect blend. Now it's okay to open and close your lever. You know, you close your lever to get closer to cut more hair. So if you still see that line isn't coming out, it's okay to go back to the previous guard and you try to use that guard to erase the line that you see. Here I'm just using a corner of the clipper just to cut the little pieces of hairs without cutting too much. So I use the corner to avoid cutting too much hair. So right now I'm just going to grab the initial guard that I used to cut the top of the head. I'm just going to try to smooth everything out before I continue on to the shape up. All right, so we're going to grab our trimmers, and then we're going to make this line follow the line that's already there. And this is really going to make the fade pop. Like, it's going to make it pop. Coming off like butter, baby, like butter. All right, so we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. We're going to create another line. Really going to make that fade pop. Really makes it pop. All right, so we're gonna start our high fade here. I usually like to make a line of demarcation diagonally, meeting up with the corner of the ear. Straight line, corner of the ear. Yep. So we're gonna erase that. Make sure that's nice and clean. All right, I'm pretty sure you guys got the hang of it now. We're gonna create with our lever open about 1/2 inch. And you guys don't be afraid to cut. In order to see the blend, you have to create a line thick enough so that you can see the separation in the actual blend. So don't be scared to cut. You can't be scared to cut. So what I did now, I closed the lever and I erased that initial guideline that I made. So I'm going to close the lever, make it a 0, and erase the trimmer guideline that you created. with the trimmer. And now what I'm going to do, I grab my 1/8 guard and I'm beginning to fade the beard. Now this part is very important. It's nothing like having a fade on the side in the beard. However, your beard is not blended. That is like my pet peeve, so I have to blend this beard to make everything symmetrical. So I'm going to open up my lever. I'm going to begin the fading process just like I did with the previous, but only difference is now I'm fading down instead of fading up. So I'm fading down into the beard instead of fading up. Same process, nothing changed. All right, next step, I'm gonna grab that 1/8 guard, create another guideline, about 1/2 inch, using the corner of my clipper, creating that separation, getting ready for the transition into the fade. All right, so we're gonna grab our 1/16 guard. We're gonna chop away at that guideline that we just created. As you can see, it's just disappearing, man. That's the formula, man. Create and erase, create and erase. You will not go wrong. You see the line disappearing there. So I'm repeatedly cutting and cutting, and I don't see that line going away. So I'm gonna go a step lower and open up the lever to try to get that line out so that we have a smooth, easy transition. All right, so on to the next. I'm gonna grab my 3/8 guard. I'm gonna create, once again, another guideline to complete this blend. All right, as you can see, I'm using the corner of my blade, my guard, and I'm just creating, make sure everything is smooth and even. All right, I'm gonna grab my 1/8. I'm gonna start to erase the previous guideline that was created using the corner of my blade. Just finessing the line out, just finesse it, finesse it. Just cutting away at the bulk or the dark areas that I see. And at times you'll see me close the lever and open the lever and close the lever just so I can get closer to the hair and cut what needs to be cut in order to get that smooth transition. Okay, gonna grab my 1/4 guard. And I'm gonna get the rest of that dark area up there. It's really dark, I'm just gonna lighten it up with the 1/4. And as you can see, it already blended in with the top of the hair. So I'm just gonna create that guideline. If you can see the separation that I created, I'm gonna go back to the 3/8 once I'm done to get the last little dark area. Yep, so here's that 3/8. Gonna open the lever and start chopping away at them dark areas there. Once again, I'm gonna open it and close it just to get closer and to get that final look that I want. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my trimmer, start tying the loose ends. Gonna put everything together to complete this haircut. All right, I'm gonna take my trimmer, I'm gonna make a line above the ear. I never took this for granted because I remember back in the day when I got my hair cut, and the first guy that actually, created this line above my ear made me realize, like, wow, it really makes a difference when you create that line above the ear. It looks really clean. Just make sure you don't go too high, but, high enough where everything comes together. All right, there we go. All right, so we're just gonna take some bulk off the mustache before we begin to shape it up. The line comes out a lot cleaner when the hair above the mustache is laying down flat and not too far over the lip. All right, I'm gonna go right above the lip, not too high. All right, it's beard time, So we're gonna start by creating the first line at the top, and I kind of got this vision in my head already on how I want the beard to look. So I'm just gonna try to follow that vision that I got in my head and just apply it. So I'm gonna go down far, not too far, just far enough so that I get a nice sharp line. I'm gonna connect from the bottom all the way up to the top. And that's clean, man. That's real clean. I ain't put the razor on it yet. Stay tuned. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna try to speed it up for you guys, because I know this is a boring process after you've seen it a couple times. So I'm just gonna try to speed this up. Basically did the same thing that we did on the opposite side. If you want to go back, rewind, and refer to the previous step by step on the high fade that I did, you can do so. So I'm just gonna try to fast forward this up a little bit just to speed it up, get to the good part. All right, you guys, now on to the good part, This part right here can make or break the cut. This is so important. So what I just did right now, I just added basically spritz, but it's not really spritz. It's just, it's called liquid razor. That's what it is, liquid razor. I applied that. Basically what it does is lays the hair down. So once I apply the clipper, the hair comes off like butter. Makes it a lot easier. So I'm just gonna go in, create that line straight across. I already have a vision in my head of how I want the line to look, and I just go through with that vision. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm basically looking at the line that I created in the mirror, and I find the area where the line isn't straight. So I go in and I try to correct that error so that everything is straight. I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Make sure everything is nice and straight. All right, as you can see what I have in my hand, I have the spray gun. I call it sauce. giving them some sauce to the haircut. Back in the day, I'm not gonna lie, I was totally against this. I did not want to use it. But over time and the evolution of the barber game, I started to use it myself, and I like it. There's nothing wrong with it. It actually helps and prevents barbers from pushing hairlines back. It gives it that pop. It makes the lines darker, but you have to know how to use it. You can't overspray. All right, and it's important to always try to make the dark line that you're creating as natural as possible. So if you have to finesse, it's all a finesse thing. You can't spray too much and overdo it. Or like here, he has a high fade here, so I can't create a dark black line all the way down, the side of his shape up. Otherwise, it'll look fake, or, it wouldn't look presentable at all. So just be mindful of that. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. As you can see, the little light spots there, but I'm gonna add the sauce. Just to darken them spots up, to bring everything together, make everything pop. All right, like I stated before, man, I am a little bit of a perfectionist. So I noticed a little dip in the line, so I just went back and tried to fix that. I kind of have OCD of cuts, man. It gotta be to my liking. If not, I'll think about it all night, all day. I'll be like, damn, like, I should have did this or I should have did that. So I always make sure when my client gets out of the chair, I'm satisfied with the cut and he'll be satisfied as well. So, I just went back and changed a few things, tightened a few things up. All right, so here's the last step of the sauce, man. The last step of the sauce. I got some hair fibers here. I'm just, applying that. And the reason why I use the hair fibers is it actually looks like hair. So when I apply this, it gives it an even more natural look. And like I said before, is a finesse thing, man. You can't apply too much hair fiber unless it looks obviously fake. So you have to add just enough, so that it still looks natural and it still looks clean. All right, it's razor time, baby. Razor time. So with your razor, what I'm doing now is I'm stretching the skin so that when I glide the razor over the skin, it's a smooth glide. Try to avoid any nicks. And if you guys don't know how to use a razor, what I do suggest is blowing up an air balloon and just practicing on the air balloon, just going over the air balloon with the blade without having it pop. So that's one way that I learned, to use the razor, was to, practice on balloons. As you can see, it's coming together. Nice sharp line on the beard. Always stretch the skin. Remember, always stretch the skin. And even if you can't get to that little crease by the cheek and right under the nose, you can ask them, to blow air in it so that it stretches, just so that you don't cut them. You try to avoid the cut. Can't see what the fuck. I'm gonna ride through pics, man. All right, y'all. There it is. There it is. That Picasso cut, man. Nothing like it. I really pride myself on making sure that everything is right, everything is blurry, and everything is sharp. See you on the next one.